Hello everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys 5 Wonderkids who you can buy for under £500,000 in FM21. I think this is a great video if you've got very little money to spend, or if you've got a big budget and then you get to the end of a transfer window and you just want to spend a couple extra £1,000 to bring some extra players in for a bit of excitement. This video will hopefully suit your guys' needs. As there is only 5 players in this list, it's obviously going to be a shorter video than usual, and YouTube does tend to promote the videos with a longer watch time, so at least in this video, if you could smash that like button, that would really help in making sure that the video performs well and getting this video out to more people, so more people can get their hands on these gems of Wonderkids. And before we get into the first player, I just want to ask you guys as well to comment down below your favourite release clause Wonderkid, or let's just go for cheap Wonderkid that you found in FM21 so far. If we create a nice list of them at the bottom, people can hopefully refer to this video and when they get to a transfer window, pick up a few players. So that being said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, let's run the intro and get straight into today's video. Okay everybody, so here we are on day 1 of a save, so this is how it should be for you guys when you load up a save, and the first player we're looking at is Miguel Rodriguez. Now you'll probably notice a pattern that the majority of these players will be playing for Spanish teams, as I have learnt from you guys in the comments before. Apparently there's a rule in Spain where every player has to have a release clause, and quite often you can pick up some youngster gems from Spain, and this is a good example of that kind of thing. This guy is playing for Vigo in the Spanish First Division, but he is playing in their B team. He's on a youth contract, so yes, you can approach to sign him, but he does have a release clause of only £86,000. Before recording this video, I have actually advanced a few days and then came back just to check that the release clauses do say the same and there's no like contract negotiations ongoing as soon as you start the save, so we're good there. But usually this guy you're going to have to get him quick because he had interest from the likes of Chelsea, Napoli, Atalanta and Manchester City, so he's probably going to be one of the harder ones to get in this list. He's going to have some interest in him and you can kind of see why. At 17 years old, the Spanish right winger, and can also play left wing but mainly right winger, has some really good physical, mental and technical attributes for a 17-year-old. Yes, he's not going to come in and play for the likes of Chelsea's first team, but they're seeing what a lot of us are seeing here, where we can see a potential in a player who we can eventually either put in our first team when he's developed or sell on for a pretty decent profit, considering what he's only costing you £86,000. So literally if you sell him for anything more than a bag of peanuts, you're going to be making tons of profit. I could imagine even if you just sent him out on loan, developed him a bit, you could probably pull in 7 or 8 million on the worst side of things. If he does turn out to be a good player, then maybe even 20-30 million, or he ends up being a good player for your first team. He's nice technically especially, and I think we're definitely starting off with a very good player here in Miguel Rodriguez. So let me know if you're going to sign that guy, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around because there's some great players here and some bargains to be had for your teams. And we're here with the second player in this list. It's someone that I imagine all of us were expecting to appear. He's probably the most well-known one here. I think not probably, definitely the most well-known player on this list. I've used him plenty of times in my own saves, and by the way, if you want to come and check out a save where I'm actually doing like a let's play, then you can check out my channel. The link to that will be in the description. We're aiming for 1,600 subscribers on there at the minute, so if you could come over, check out the little save that we've got going on, still in the early stages, so you can still catch the start of it. And that would mean a lot. But yes, Gavi is a player that I have bought in that little team, and I think everyone here can see why, because not only is he great technically, mentally and physically, he is only 15 years old. He is coming out of a Barcelona academy. Obviously at 15 he's got more room to grow and he can play a variety of positions. I've had him in saves where I'm using him on the wing, I've had him in saves where I'm using him in central midfield, but of course attacking midfield is where he's best suited. He's got good flair, he's got the highest potential range on this list and can go on in some saves to not just be a good player but go on to be one of the better players in the world in his position. Now his release clause is a bit higher than the last guy we looked at, but still for under 500k, 375k is a great price for the player you're getting here. He's on £55 a week, man. This guy is getting robbed for the talent that he's got. He's got some nice traits already, tries killer balls often, tries tricks and tries to curl the ball. He's only 5'5" though, so he's not going to be the most physical presence, but that's not his job. We can see Gavi here as a great skilled technical player, definitely fits the mould of young Spanish footballers, young Barcelona players, for technically gifted players with a little centre of gravity, and Gavi looks like a top talent. So if you guys want to get him in your saves, but I imagine he's probably the one that some of you have already had some success with. And we are finally venturing out of Spain to look at this player, a Bulgarian, playing in the Bulgarian First Division for ITAR. Now, just to be aware, he is the only player out of Spain, so the likelihood is if you've got a nice large database on and you've got Spain loaded, you'll see all the others. With this guy, you're probably going to have the Bulgarian league loaded, or at least have players from that nation loaded to see him. But he is a guy who has fixed potential, which means as long as he develops right, he will hit the same peak in every save, as long as he actually reaches that peak. That is, of course, if something like an injury throws him off, who knows what will happen. But providing he gets the right training, mentoring, this guy will hit a level of not like a star amazing striker for a Premier League team or anything like that, but he will turn into a pretty decent striker, not one of the world's best, but a good level striker. I'm not going to reveal his potential in terms of the number that it is, because a lot of you guys don't like the spoilers for that. For the people that do, you can check out the FMSCOUT website. There'll be a list of all the players on there and their potential ranges if you do want it spoiled. But I know a lot of people do like the mystery that this game entails. And now he is only going to cost you 55k, so very cheap. One for pretty much any team in any division, I'd imagine, unless you're like really non-league or something like that. I mean, I've done saves in like League 2, League 1 of England. You have that money and plenty more usually if you're doing well, unless you're in like crippling financial debt. A lot of the time, a decent FA Cup run will pay that off tenfold. So he's a very good player, and one that, again, if he develops right and you develop him well, will sell on for a profit every time, because he will reach a decent level. The likelihood is he will be a Bulgarian starter player in the future. Physically is obviously where his strengths lie. He's a big player, a target man, apparently 6'2". But yeah, natural fitness is good, jumping reach is good, and then on top of that, he has some bonus nice mental attributes as well as some good finishing. He's got the foundations there to be a very good target man, a very good like hold-up player up front for your teams, and he doesn't necessarily have to be a starter, maybe as a rotation option. I've just realised I haven't said his name yet. It's Prislav Borokov. I probably shouldn't have said it anyway because I cannot pronounce that. Number 99, there you go for ATAR. He can only play up front, but for £55,000, can you really go wrong? Even if he completely flops, you'll probably get your money back, and you probably won't miss the £55,000 that you did spend on him. So that is Prislav Borokov with 3 players in and only 2 players left in the list to go now. So we've already looked at Miguel Rodriguez playing for the Vigo B team. Now we're looking at Damien Rodriguez, and I can only assume they're related somehow. They're both the same age, if I remember right. Now, I will preface this by saying everyone else in this list does have Wonderkid potential. This guy is kind of an honourable mention because we wanted to, obviously, 4 players didn't sound the best. We wanted to get 5. And this guy is very close to being on the cusp of actually having the Wonderkid title. He can still be a very good player, but I do have to point out he doesn't reach the threshold to be classed as a Wonderkid. But I think in the sense of the term Wonderkid, where you're thinking a young player who can develop into a really good player in the future, Damien Rodriguez fits the bill. Yes, he might not have the exact potential ability value, but you can see here for a 17-year-old, he's good physically in the midfield. He's a central midfielder with a left foot, which is something that I always like because it is hard to find them usually. He's a promising midfielder, nothing big in terms of stature, but he's decent mentally, decent technically, and again, you're not going to get the world's best player for this amount of money, but for £42,000, you can sign him and his brother for about 100k put together, and I really like the look of him. Again, he does not qualify to have the Wonderkid potential range, which I think is 145 and above, and even if he doesn't have a potential rating to necessarily classify as a Wonderkid, I still think he's a very good player and someone that's befitting of this kind of list, where you're just looking for a cheap player to sell on for a profit, or maybe even eventually stick in your youth team for a while and then end up playing for your first team. The media class him as a promising midfielder, and I would too. He's a very nice player, and that leads us on to the final player in this list. If you are enjoying the video at this point, don't forget to smash the like button and put the comment in down below if you're going to sign any of these guys, or if you have another cheap Wonderkid, doesn't necessarily have to be under 500k, that you can put in the comments for other people to find. Thank you for sticking with me throughout the video, guys, and we are finishing off with Sergio Decal playing for Sporting Gijon's B team. Sporting Gijon are in the 2nd division of Spain, so I imagine you'll have to have both of the Spanish leagues loaded. But yeah, this is a very nice player, 16 years of age. He has the same release clause as Gavi at 375k. It's a bit higher than some of the other guys, but again, you're probably playing a premium because he's only 16, so he's got more room to grow than some of the others, and he does have a very nice potential range. He's a right winger who's 6 foot tall and physically has some really good attributes. His stamina and his strength definitely need working on though, else you'll be subbing him off after 30 minutes every time, but he is a very quick player, and these kind of things will develop as time goes on. Mentally, he's very good too, with a nice bit of determination to help him along in his growth. He's got some flair for a winger, he's got technique, he can dribble, and he has a nice first touch, and as a bonus, he's got some good long shots. Again, you're not going to have the perfect player for this price, but these Spanish divisions are always filled with gems, and Sergio Decal is one of them right here. I could be wrong, but I think you can sign all players in this list for under £1 million, so if you've got a bit of transfer budget left over and you just want to stock up your youth team with some good players, this might be a good video to refer to. Sergio Decal does look like a nice player, and the fact that he has some nice determination will mean that he'll hopefully grow into the kind of player that you guys want. Again, you're going to have to train him and mentor him, but more often than not, these guys are either going to be good enough to be first team players for most teams in the world, unless you're like really elite, then maybe only the likes of Gavi could make it. But even if they don't make your first team, they're going to be little profit makers. They're going to be good players for your youth team, hopefully good players to send out on loan or fill up your squad slots in your team with some homegrown talent eventually when they get to that point. And to be honest, all of these players seem like no-brainers to me, so hopefully you guys will pick some of them up. To anyone watching, this video was recorded after the winter update for FM21, so if things are different in your save, that could be why, but I think for the majority of these, their release clauses have been the same for a while. For example, Gavi, as far as I'm aware, has been £375,000 since the start of FM21. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy today's video. Don't forget to smash the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and feel free to come check out my channel if you want to see me using some of these young players and developing some young talent of our own with our little team as we attempt to not just win League One, but go and win the Champions League within a 3 or 4 5-year period. If that sounds like something you're interested in, come check it out. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Goodbye.